Hey guys, I'm Rick, and that is One Big Pile of Bricks with our amazing guest, Sri Lankan God, Season 1, Lego Master Gayan.
Hey.
Is that better?
That's better.
All right, make
I
sure
like
you keep
that.
all that in, Dan. All those mistakes.
So why are you calling Gayan a Sri Lankan god?
Look at him. Look how pretty he is.
It's all the curls.
Just checking.
isn't it?
Dan, the sound is on now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get an audio clip of that? I'm going to use it.
Let's go back to Season 1. What is it, 4 years ago now?
Something
4
like
years?
that.
Yeah,
Was it
I think
2018? Was that right? Or
Yeah,
19? Something
That's
like that.
before
I think
the world turned into a
Yeah.
major storm.
Yeah.
I think we did the shooting in 2018, towards the end of 2018, and it aired in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, it did.
Lot.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like it was. Because the last couple of years, I feel like it was so long ago now, because there's
Yeah.
been so much going on. So when you applied for Season 1, explain to us and everyone listening and watching at home, what was the process of you getting on Lego Masters?
Ooh,
Do you remember?
yeah, that's a good question. I think because we are in the Lego community sort of thing, Facebook and all that sort of thing. So I saw the application process coming up sort of thing, advertising, asking for people to apply sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I started applying. I didn't even check with Dinushi. I started applying.
I'm sure that went down amazingly with Danushi.
Yeah. I started applying. We were busy with the food track and all that sort of thing. And halfway through, I just stopped the application. I was busy with work or something like that.
Yeah.
Then after a couple of days, I got a call, and it's from the producers. They were like, "Oh, we really like what you filled in. Can you complete
Finish
it?"
it.
Yeah,
Finish it,
exactly.
please. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, "All right, sure, no worries." And I did the rest of it and submitted through. Didn't think about it. Then I went to Dinesh. I'm like, by the way, I did this.
God.
There's no way we are gonna get in, sort
Yeah.
of thing. And she's like, whatever. And next minute, they want to do a Skype interview.
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
thing. They're kind of like they're filtering or something like that. So we did that, and then again I turned around to the initiative. No way we are gonna
Yeah.
look at us. No way. they would need
Look at this.
they
Is
would
that
need
because there's only white people on TV? You're like, look at me. Look at me. It's like,
It's different.
it's more, I think, especially with me, when I get excited, I
Yeah.
speak so fast.
Yeah.
What people struggle
You've
to
heard Rick.
understand.
hey, sometimes I can't even speak English properly, so it's fine.
You're at least pronouncing the words correctly. Rick, on the other hand.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's not about what happens. It's about getting to the destination.
That's
That is
true.
true. That is true. So, and then we got selected again, and then we went into the live building session.
Yeah.
So everyone, I think there were about 20 plus teams there, and everyone was given a box of Lego, and then you had to come up with some sort of scenario.
Was it the sphere thing? Were
Yeah. They said you have to make a sphere, and then and then incorporate it into a story sort of thing. The funny thing is, while we were driving for the audition, Dinesh was like, "Do you know how to make a sphere?" I'm like, "No idea." And she was like, "Let me quickly Google this."
Oh, wow.
It's not
And this
easy.
is first season. No one
Yeah.
knew
Yes.
what to expect sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So she was looking at it, and then like, "Oh yeah, I think I figured it out." As soon as I saw the technique, I'm like, "Yeah, I get it." So we rocked out. I'm sure enough, they asked to make us to make a sphere, and we got that part done. It was a solid sphere sort of
Yes.
thing. I dropped it once and got it.
So what did you build? What was it?
It was a sort of like volcano, and with this sphere on top of it. So when you press a sort of like a lever, it rolls down.
Oh, cool, man.
So
That's
it kind
awesome.
of like
Wow.
exploding
Oh, wow.
sort of thing. So that was our story.
How
And,
long did you have to make that?
I think it was about 2 to 3 hours or something like that. It was
Yeah.
stressful.
From
It was
memory, I
Yeah.
think it's 3 hours. Because
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
it, and I think it's 3 hours.
3 hours, yeah.
If it makes you feel better, though, Rick didn't know how to build a sphere either. He was
No,
learning.
because I was like, you know how I heard it was a sphere, and I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Like, you know how it's
making a
like,
few
yeah.
because
certain
I've built
phone
some
calls,
stuff, and you just like, so I Googled it,
Yeah.
and I don't know, there was some instructions, so Caroline knows for 2 weeks beforehand, I I ended up learning how to build a sphere and then just built it like with my eyes closed because I was like,
Yeah.
if I can get that down, everything else is good.
You made a pink one, and then you were going to break it apart. And I said, no, keep it. That's pretty.
Yeah, so I ended up making like an ant that was eating ice cream, and its tail was like different colors because that was eating the ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I was by myself, and there was a few people in that room, and I don't know if it was the same as your group. Ryan Evans, who ended up on season 3, he was in my group, and Annie and Runa were in my group as well.
Oh, okay.
They ended up on season 2. 2, yeah.
So there were few contestants who joined later on.
Oh, cool.
So,
that were in that group.
That were in that group. And then Kale was in that group as well.
Wow.
Yeah. And there were a couple other interesting characters as well. Like,
no, it's a polite way to say it.
Yeah.
It's funny as well because some people were genuinely like, doing what they love, which is building Lego, but some were playing to the camera.
Yeah.
And which was obvious as well. And none of them got selected. So, like, it's interesting how the selection process works.
So you just went on and you were yourself.
Yeah,
and
pretty much. And then I think she was like, sugar high or something like that. And she just kept on talking sort of thing. I think that helped, yeah. But,
Danushi's a very excitable human.
Yeah.
She's very animated.
Very animated,
Yes.
She's perfect for TV, right?
Yes. Which is something I regret as well. I kind of think I held her back during the actual shooting sort of thing. I was like, don't make a fool of yourself on national TV.
Yeah, because it's hard, right? Because you don't know. And then after,
I didn't know, we didn't know. Because at the end of the day, it was a reality TV show, right? And it's the first season.
Well, in the first season, you're expecting them to find stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know what to expect. So we didn't know it was a family friendly, such a wholesome TV series. I don't think even they knew what to expect sort of thing. So
of course.
it was blank canvas, I guess. But yeah, I was like, don't make a fool of
Danushi.
We are mic'd up always. So
Yeah.
be careful what you say.
But you guys came across all right, I think, on TV.
You did, yeah.
I think it was genuinely us sort of thing. Like,
I can confirm we do know Gayan and Danushi personally.
We do.
It is them. They're not fake. It wasn't put on for the camera. Unlike certain other contestants in later seasons, it wasn't put on for the camera.
It was definitely not put on. We actually, very early on, well, after you finished filming and the episodes aired, we did have you and Danushi coming in store to do a meet and greet. And it wasn't like it was last minute, but it was you two. And I feel like you and Danushi were the first to come into our store, and the response was incredible.
There was so many people there. Do you remember that day? How packed it was?
Like,
my God.
I didn't know what to expect sort of thing. Like,
we did it. It was our first time. Even now they're different. Now we've done so many, you sort of know how to do it properly, right?
Yes.
But when it's our first ones, especially yours and the one after that, when you guys were there for all of them, I think all three, it was just chaos.
Yeah.
But when it was you and Danushi, it was amazing. We stood back and we were just
intimate sort of thing.
It really was.
Well, it's a bit nicer, because it's just you two. It's harder when it's like everybody.
And you two were you just came across so naturally. You were just chatting to the kids. They were loving it. You were we were watching. You were getting down low and chatting to the kids because you both got kids, and everyone was just like, oh. The parents, you could see how happy the parents were because their kids were so enthusiastic and you were so enthusiastic about the conversation. It was just great to see.
Yeah. Like I said, we had no idea what to expect sort of thing, how it will be taken by the Lego community as well as general public. And one of the best things that came out of it is just the kids, how they reacted to it.
Yeah, it's
how
so
they
cool.
looked up to you. Like, it's just amazing. Like, how they, we had a lot of parents coming up to us and, their Lego was in a pile of box, stuck somewhere sort of thing. And now they just take it to the living room, pull it all over the floor and just playing around with Lego.
It's really good. And, I think seeing further seasons go along, I don't think it's going to be as popular as the first season. I think the first season of any program, no matter what it is always has that secret sauce.
Yeah. I think we were kind of lucky as well in regards to we just managed to do it before COVID hit.
Yes.
That didn't help the second season or the third season.
Yeah, it was rough for those guys because I remember because we did you know, those big meet and greets,
Big
thousands
meeting,
of people.
like,
Oh my god!
yeah.
And then like they came in, no meet and greets.
Yeah.
Season 3, no meet and greets. Like, and it's just one of those hard things, especially
Yeah.
with. Hopefully, it's over now. Now we're getting to the tail end of it, and it seems some sort of normality that things will return to some sort of normal, and events will be able to come back to normal. Because it's always hard having a big group of people in a room breathing on each other.
Yeah.
It's
true.
hard,
It kind of like
regardless.
it changed us as human beings, didn't it? Like, you know, how you look at things, like in even personal life, and again, like in your personal space, I guess that changed as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you.
Yeah, it's
You
crazy,
really
and the way you
think
look
about
at things now, I think the pandemic for most people, and I know a lot of people don't like talking about it, but it's relevant, and that's the way it is right now.
Yeah.
I think for most people, it made everyone sit back and do a bit of a reset on how they manage their lives.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of employers around the country are struggling with staff now,
Yeah.
because I think people forget that just because you're an employee doesn't mean you need to be treated poorly.
Yeah.
And you see it across every industry, it's mass walkouts now because everyone went, I don't want to do this anymore, which is fair. Like, and now we're in a better spot. I feel like that it's better for the world for people to sort of move along and find something that they enjoy because.
And it was also about work-life balance,
Yeah,
wasn't
that is
it?
true. Yeah. Like, you know, I think after working from home, everyone was like, oh, like, you know, how awesome is this? Like, you know, you get your work done as well as you spend more time with your
When
family.
you're probably finding that you're doing more work.
If you're Gayan, you always send us, photos of what you're cooking for lunch.
All the food.
All these elaborate meals.
That was the best thing for me. Like, you know, cooking fresh food, like, you know, for lunch. So it's just amazing. And because like, you know, Lego, I have Lego and then cooking. That, like, you know, two of my passions sort of thing. So it allowed me to, like, you know, explore and do, like, you know, yeah.
And it's, I think, too, a lot of people don't realise that part of the reason you and Danushi started the food truck was to fund your Lego.
Yes. We were like, you know, going back, I think, now it's coming up on 8 years or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, we were like, we are going broke, like, you know, just buying Lego sort of thing.
Yeah, and sets are bigger and more expensive. Yeah.
Tell us about how the food truck started.
So, so I'll tell you how I got Dinushi involved in Lego.
Yeah, of course.
So, I always loved Lego. Even growing up in Sri Lanka sort of thing, I loved Lego, but Lego was hard to come by in Sri Lanka. So I used to go to my cousin's place because his parents were overseas at the time. So he would send him Lego. So during my holidays, I'll go to his place so I can play with Lego.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, and then I was like, one day when I grow up, I'm going to have a Lego room like, of my own. That was me, like, you know, all the way back as a kid, like, you know, 4 or 5 year old sort of thing. And then moving to Australia sort of thing. I moved, everyone amongst our friends knew that I'm the Lego guy.
Yeah.
So everyone bought me Lego for my birthday and that sort of thing. And I think it was around 2013, 2014. I got a Lego set for the Initiative, just a small train set, Creator Series, a 3-in-1 sort of set. And I gave it to her, and she was like, oh, what do I do with this? Sort of thing. And then she ended up making it, and
It's
she
a
was
really
like,
good set.
It is.
she was like, oh, this is actually cool. Like, you know, now I'm going to buy 2 more sets and make the
Yeah.
whole 3
Yeah.
and combine it together. And then she did that, and then she got hooked on it, and she was like, she did all the research, and that's how she was like, oh, do you know there's all these Facebook communities and there's all these shops sort of thing. You can get bargains and that. I'm like, I was happy. Like, you know, just going to Kmart and just buying a, like, you know, Lego set that I see. That was it. But this, like, you know, it just blew from there.
Yeah.
We were buying Lego, like, you know, like there's no tomorrow. And then after a while, we both were like, we're running out of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is what happens when. So a lot of people watching and listening home, there's a term called the dark ages. So there's this period in your life where Lego fans, Lego collectors, they don't touch Lego because of whatever, you know, you're growing up, you get a girl or a boyfriend or whatever, you know, and then like things change. And it happened with me as well. I was
It
like,
really did.
look at this Lego set.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then when I met Caroline, I had like $10,000 worth of Lego. And you're like, you don't understand why you're consuming it. Like your brain's just like, and it's an addiction and you
I
just
came
buy
home
stuff.
from work once and I said, right, I'm looking at what he's bought, and he bought this Lego Batman hat.
Oh, that was a little hat.
That's fine, but I'm like, it's in the wrong size. It was very
Yeah, because I think, you know how like you got like the Lego website? And back then, back then, this was like 15 years ago.
2009, maybe?
Back, the Lego website wasn't as user friendly as it is now today. So like you'd buy it, and I was like, oh yeah, and I must have selected like kid.
That's what he says.
And then
anyway,
it's like,
I don't
oh,
know.
I've got it now forever. Like, but you know, it's just I think everyone has the dark ages when they come out of it, and when we're serving people in the store, we're trying to convince our customers to take it easy because you consume heaps at the start.
Yeah.
Because you're like, they make Back to the Future, they make Ghostbusters, oh my god, and then it's like,
Yeah.
especially with Star Wars. Star Wars is a massive hole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, once you started buying one sort of thing, you just have to buy the
Yes.
next. It's like, I have to have them
And now you're
all,
like,
so-
Yeah.
oh, now I need all of them.
Yeah. And
So
then,
you were spending all this money on Lego,
Yeah,
and then what
and-
happened?
and then we were like, one day we were like, we need another job
Uh-huh.
just to find out.
Yeah,
Lego.
because you
I
need
mean,
to fund it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, because I always loved cooking sort of thing, I wanted to, like, open almost like a pop-up shop sort of thing. So I was
Yeah.
traveling with food, like, every now and then. When our friends get together, I'll make a feast sort of thing. And then...
Feast. Oh, yeah. They are feasts.
yeah.
Gayan's food is
It's
amazing.
amazing.
Oh,
Mhm.
thank you.
Make sure you try his food truck. I'll link it down below. It's amazing.
And then one day Dinesh rang me up. Like, I've been buying secondhand Lego on Gumtree. Why don't we look at a secondhand food truck? I'm like, oh, yeah.
That's a good idea, yeah.
And then literally she rang me, I think about half an hour later. I was driving somewhere and she goes like, oh, I found these couple trailers, like, food trailers. Do you want to go and have a look? I'm like, are we really doing it? She was like, yeah, why not?
I feel like Gayan's doing most of the work. And then she's like, yeah, why not?
She did find the food truck,
Yes,
though.
yes. I have to say, we have been lucky right throughout the food truck journey. Like, whatever decisions we took helped us.
Yes.
Like, and we have grown so
Yeah, but
much
also
over the
too,
years.
luck is not. Caroline and I have this thing where we never wish anyone good luck, and we don't believe in luck because I think if you work hard enough, you create it.
That is true.
And you and Dinesh, you work hard. I don't think people
Yeah.
realize, like we know because we talk to you about it all the time.
Yeah.
There's been times where you're staying up to 1 a.m. and having to be back at 6 a.m.
Yes.
Like it's not just getting the food truck, put down some food. There's like
Yeah.
prep and making sure it's clean and like there's all
Yes.
these processes.
And tell us about the meal that you make for the food truck.
So it's called kotu, which is, I like to say, it's kind of like Sri Lankan kebab. Because when you have
But it's better than kebabs.
yeah, it's sort of like when you have a night out, that's what you look for, sort of thing. So we
Yes.
beat it on the actual grill, so make a loud noise, so people like you have a night out sort of thing, and you listen to the beat, and
Of the knives.
of
They've
the, yeah, exactly, the plates like we call it, and then
Okay,
you
yeah.
mix it up, sort of thing, all together, and then it's just we make lamb, chicken, and vegetarian, and then every now and then we'll do like some.
So it's like
I
a-
don't eat the lamb. The
It's
lamb is
like-
Bernie.
It's lovely. It's like a vegetable.
Yeah.
It's like a vegetable mix. Plus, you have the two different meats, don't you? And
Yeah.
the vegetarian, and it's oh my goodness, it's so good. It's so healthy. There's so much.
There's about 5 serves of vegetables in there, and
It's huge bowl.
roti,
isn't it?
and
I always get 6 servings
protein.
when I see Gayan because I eat it for the next 3 days later. But that's fine.
extra for you. Yeah,
Yes,
that?
Always.
that's right.
I'm always like, hey man, and I'm always like, I'm coming, and he's like, oh, I've made it already. I was like, oh, awesome.
Yeah.
It's a simple concept. It's like, yep,
Yeah.
you want kotu? Yep, there you
Yeah,
go.
but
There's your options.
It's delicious and it's consistent.
Yeah.
You're always
thank you.
really busy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, every time it's like, look at the line, my god. But
It
you know,
is.
that's good. Like, it's good to have a line.
Yeah,
It is.
we started for Lego, obviously. Like, we have Lego written all over our food truck, like, small lettering. But it has taken a life of its own sort of thing. Now we are coming up on 6 or 7 years now. And, we have been busy.
From what I understand, you've met a few Sri Lankan celebrities as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Dilwork from MasterChef as well. Like, he celebrated.
Wow.
That's
him.
awesome.
Yeah, he came like even before he went on the show. Sort of thing. This is again like 5-6 years ago. He tried our food and he then DM'd us the next day saying, "Your food is amazing. Like where are you next?" Sort of thing. So we were like, follow us, sort of thing. So we
Yeah.
made a friend out of him, and like next minute he's on like Master Chef. And
Did he replicate your meal on MasterChef? Did he try? That's what I want to know. Like, did he like?
No, he did not. But he keep in touch sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
whenever we are around the city, so then he drops by and he performed at a comedy festival.
Wow, cool.
And 1 year he actually did drop our name as well. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome. Like, but yeah, you meet a lot of people, a lot of people who love food. It's similar to Lego as well. It's a common interest, and talking about food and Lego gets me going.
Yes.
All can spend hours and hours just talking about them.
Yes.
It's great. I love it.
Oh, I love
Buys
it
food.
because it's just
Then
so
you can spend more
different.
Lego at our store.
Yeah, I know. The way Lego is releasing all these
Oh,
sets.
dude, it's like every month. We were talking about it yesterday with a customer. I was like, dude, there's a lot of releases between now and
Yes.
Christmas. They're like, really? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Because they just pump it, right? Because they can.
Yeah.
And they know people are going to buy it no matter what it is, particularly Harry Potter and Star Wars. Like, they're the big things. And
Big
Technic.
thing.
There's a lot of cool Technic sets.
Yeah, their technique sets are really
That's your
cool.
favorite, right? Technic?
Technique, yeah.
Cars.
Oh, well,
Can't see my car collection, Rick.
Cars and Star Wars
it's a bit of
buildable
everything.
characters.
That's the thing, right? When I started collecting, it was meant to be just a Lego City collection. That was it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
And then I started making. Then I got into technique. Then ideas, and all these amazing themes. I collect all the Discovery series, way
Yeah,
back
cool,
in the
yeah,
day,
yeah.
all the space stuff. Then I'm like, oh, city's boring compared to the
Yeah.
rest of it. And then I slowly got rid of my city stuff and collected everything else.
That's the problem with City. It's like, it's good, but there's so much, then you
Yeah.
got modulars.
Yeah.
And then the modulars are
Modulars
amazing,
are
right?
amazing.
And then
Yeah.
now you've got Star Wars, and they make so much other things now, and they're branching into Transformers, and then it's like,
Yeah.
it's not going to stop because they can, and they've got the licenses now.
License, yeah. I think city is a good entrance,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
kids sort of thing, standard police stations.
I do like the new road system, though. I think it's better than the old system.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because I'll show you later, when they're built up against the modulars, they look nicer.
Yeah.
Where the other one had that weird, how it had the 6 or 7 studs, and then
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, modulars are the next level.
Oh, dude, I have every
details
single one
and all
except
that.
the first one.
Oh,
Because every time I get a cafe corner, I end up selling it because it sells for stupid money.
yeah,
And now my brain's like, I need it. And one of our friends, Michael,
yeah,
Michael has one. I'm like, let me buy it. Every time I see him, I'm like, let me buy it. Nah, because he builds them once and then puts them away.
yeah.
I was like, then give it to me.
I
And
think,
I'll...
Yeah.
I think half of it is he likes teasing Rick
Yeah.
about it. It's like, I've
That's-
got this.
Yeah, but I'm
you know.
going to go to the States soon and I'll end up finding one and then I'll be like, ah. For
We'll
a
see.
Michael is
Good
such
price.
Yeah.
such a good human.
Yeah, he's a really good human. We're going to get him on a later podcast and we're going to talk all things Lego and
Maybe.
all things Michael, because Michael does like to talk about himself, but that's fine.
Doesn't he talk for a living as well?
Yeah, he's in like a bullying bullying sector. So he
Yeah.
workplace bullying. That's
Yeah.
his specialty. Not bullying people.
Anti-bullying.
Anti-bullying. I just thought,
Anti-bullying.
well, maybe he's a bully. I don't know. But yeah, it's one of those things. So how have you found watching Lego Masters now that you've been a contestant? Does it bring back all those memories?
It definitely bring back memories.
Good memories?
Good memories, and a bit of FOMO as well.
Yeah.
If I knew what I know now,
Yeah.
It's one of those things, you're right. You want to you don't want to miss out.
yeah.
Yes.
And some of the builds as well. For example, the first challenge that we did, right? We walked in and they're like, "Oh, there's 8 slots missing
Yeah.
from this city.
Yes.
Build 8, 8 sectors sort of thing, or what's missing in the city." And we were like, "All right." There wasn't any bank or anything like that. So I was like, "Oh, let's build a bank and a swimming pool sort of thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and do all that." And we look across, and here's Henry and Kate making a massive tree. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because they built the treehouse, didn't they? That bit of the little thing. Yeah.
And it was so we had no idea what to expect, sort of thing.
And you can build outside of the square. It doesn't have to be this. It can be
and
more creative.
it was more the creative freedom. We weren't prepared for it. We
Yes.
were these are the parameters
Yeah.
built within sort of thing. Where now I know, you can be creative.
Yes.
They actually prefer you being more creative rather
Yes.
than
Yeah.
building within those guidelines.
Well, and
sort
it's
of.
changed a lot now. When you were on Lego Masters, there wasn't as many good parts. It was all the standard
Yes.
Lego. Where
Yes.
now they've advanced so much. They
Yeah.
got cogs and springs and chickens and cat. Like they have everything you never had.
Yeah.
And that changes the landscape. No one realizes that animals and bicycles change
Yes.
completely how it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's I mean, it's an advantage now because people who are in there now, they do have access to all those parts, but also there's more pressure now too.
Yeah, that is true. I think what people expect has like they have set a higher standard as well. So like I can imagine there's more pressure to it as well. Because when we're going in, like we looked at the UK show, and compared to that,
And the
this
UK
is
is
like,
very. I like Matthew Ashton. I know him. He's a cool
Oh,
dude.
he's a
Matthew
really
Ashton
good-
was.
He is the head of Lego minifigures. He created Unikitty.
Unikitty. Yeah.
So
Was
he's
he on the
Unikitty's dad,
show?
effectively.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
the judge of Lego Masters
Okay.
UK, and they haven't done any new seasons at all. I know that Hensley gets asked about it. Like, no, because I think our season is shown over there, and I think it outshines theirs. So they're like, and then they'd have to do bigger and better, right? And then it sort of backfires.
But also, Australia had the benefit of seeing how they ran those episodes.
Yeah, I don't know.
of
Maybe
course.
DMAC was like, let's blow up some Lego. You know how it's like, let's set it on fire.
Yeah.
Like, but it's changed Lego for the better.
Yeah.
Like it's been the ultimate ad without being an ad for Lego. Because it effectively is advertising, right?
Yeah.
No matter how much marketing spin they're going to put on it, the Lego movie, the TV shows, it's all advertising.
Yeah.
And Lego Masters mixed in with the Lego movie.
Yeah.
It's been like the best form of advertisement, especially in Australia.
Yeah.
Because I think pre-Lego Masters, I don't think Lego, it was popular, but I don't think it was as big as it is today.
Yeah.
Because,
Definitely.
you got these guys who just normal looking people,
Yeah.
like building Lego on TV. They're not celebrities. It's just,
It made kind of like Lego cool sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where people used to be like, I still collect Lego sort of thing.
You're
Like,
being in
I
like the
make
toy
Lego.
section, like filling out the
Yeah.
music packets. Like, we used to go before we had the store. We'd be in like
Used to
Target or
go.
whatever,
Yeah.
like Series 1 and Series 2. I'm like
Yes.
trying to find.
Yeah.
And like everyone's looking at you because they think you're stealing because you're like filling the packet. But now, obviously we get them, so it doesn't matter. But like
Yeah.
back then, I think Lego wasn't as big.
Yeah.
And people was
Wasn't.
sort of frowned upon a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, you play with Lego.
Yeah.
Where now, because of Lego Masters,
cool.
everyone's like, oh, it's acceptable all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's same as like comic books and stuff. It's all sort of the in thing at the moment.
Yeah. And like, I still remember coming to your shop when you guys were in Pakenham sort of thing.
The little one?
The little one.
Yes.
Yes. That was what? Thing about. Trying to think.
It'd be like
2016.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
while ago,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
6-7 years
still
ago.
have a receipt from there. Like,
Oh, seriously? Wow, oh my God.
I
That'll
still
look
have
different.
it. And I remember, I think it was Caroline was there.
Yeah,
Yes.
most likely. 'Cause
Uh,
back then we had 2 stores.
We did.
Yeah,
yes,
so back
that's
then we
right.
had Traralgon and Pakenham.
Uh-huh.
And we used to, at 1 week, Caroline would do here and I would do down there. And we used to swap.
Swap,
When
so
now it
we
was
were
around the
all
main one.
driving all the time. Yeah, yeah.
That was intense. We had 2 stores. It was good. It was
Oh.
busy, We just, and not luck, but we came in at the right time.
Yeah.
Back then there wasn't no Lego Movie when we started, and then Lego Movie came along.
Yes.
We were one of the only retailers that put money into Lego Movie because all the other retailers were like, man, we were in America.
We bought a lot.
And I rang my rep from America because the movie came out 3 or 4 months before Australia. And we came out of the cinema, we're in America, and I got on the phone straight away, I want to double my order.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, what? I'm like, double it. He's like, really? I'm like, double it. And we did, and we sold so much Lego. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, we have big weekends now,
Yeah.
but back then, like, 200, 300 sets per set. Like, quantity was
For
amazing.
a little business.
Yeah.
at
For a
the
little
time.
business at the time. And, you saw the small store. It wasn't no online back then.
Like, even
No.
back then, your collection was different from mainstream sort of thing. Like, I remember you were the only people who had poly bags. Like,
Yes.
I get excited by poly bags.
I love it, man. I love
And,
it.
like,
Bags.
I
Yeah,
was
let's go.
browsing through poly bags. I think Caroline came over and we were having a chat sort of thing. What's available?
Yeah,
and
Denise, she
that's-
brought it up with me the other week.
She
She's
did.
like, I remember going to your store. Like, you did? Like,
They were
you
going
forget.
through
Like,
Yeah.
parts. She said she was on the floor going,
going
through
through
all
parts
the
when we had the small brick wall.
Very
Yeah, with the big
Oh,
one.
yeah.
And it's like, that people, again, you guys are so lucky. It's like, no.
It's not about
Caroline and I worked 7 days a week, and we still do. Less public interaction now.
Yeah.
But for 10 years straight, we were open.
Yeah.
Like, that's a long time.
Long time.
And yeah, Rick was also traveling and doing interstate.
Oh, we were doing it
events
every
as
little
well.
Lego show, you know,
the
because back
fairs
then
and
you did
all that.
promotion. There was Facebook and Instagram, but it wasn't as big as it is today.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was our thing. But we travelled and did our thing. Like you and Danushi, no one sees the work in the background. They just see the
Background,
finished
yes.
product and go, oh, even here, like this week we had 10 pallets delivered. No one sees the work and how much waste and product. It's just so much.
No one knows that you're finishing an event at, let's say, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night. You're going to this 24-hour supermarket.
Getting salad.
You're
And we're
going-
messaging you like, why didn't you tell us? We would have picked it up for you.
Right,
Like,
you're going back to the kitchen and you are cutting everything by hand.
Yeah.
Some of these other businesses that, do food truck events all the time, they're buying the pre-cut onion, the pre-cut carrot, whatever else it is.
Yeah.
You're
fresh
doing it
produce,
yourself.
Yeah. We
I think it tastes better when you cut it fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of
100%.
Like, especially lettuce and cabbage and everything you put in yours.
Yeah.
I think you have to have it fresh because I think when you first cut it, it must release something into the food.
Yeah.
And I think, like, fresh is always the best.
Yeah, even with the roti that we buy, it's the expensive roti. Like, no
You
one
can
wants
tell.
to
You
can
buy
tell.
it. Like, and I researched and I came to, a conclusion that's the one I want. And we have stuck with them for the last 6 years.
Good.
And they're the expensive one, but they're the best one.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you paying a little bit more pays off in the long run because
Yes.
if you're buying the cheap product, you'd be able to taste it straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with that because it's so flavor infused.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything about it is the flavoring and the additives and everything you're adding in there. You could
Curry.
taste everything that's wrong about it if it was wrong, right?
It's like, 6 year, we like to think we had, like, we continued our standard. If anything, we grown it. Like,
it's so good.
everywhere we try to do better sort of thing. And it's still funny. I still cook, like, I still make the food, but it's actually Dinushi who kind of like give the QC, like, are there, it's up to our standards sort of thing.
Yes.
So whenever I make a fresh batch, she tries it and she like, yeah, you need bit of this, bit of that sort of thing. And then I tweak it.
Yeah,
so,
but maybe that's why you guys work so well together.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, like, yeah.
Because she openly admits that you're the cook. Like,
Oh,
she
yeah.
can't make the curry.
Let's be honest,
exactly.
Danushi likes talking and disappearing on Gayan at the food truck, so,
First 3 years, she has been like, she used to push me forward, like, he's the face of the food truck, taka, and I'm like, no, it's a joint venture. Like, we started this together.
Yeah.
She does a lot of work getting us to the event, so I do most of my work when we are at the event.
Yes.
So, yeah, like, once we get there parked and everything, then, like, I go to town sort of thing. I'm in my space sort of
Yes.
thing. Yeah, I, like, get all my curry sorted and that sort of thing, and that's when she relax and she kind
Yes.
of like goes
Oh,
around
yeah,
talking to
sorry, yeah,
everyone,
sorry.
like,
Apart from the times we come to visit you at the food truck, we steal you away and she's out, she's looking
Yeah,
at
she
you.
gives you the
like,
dirtiest look, man. And you can sort of like, if I'm on my back, you can sort of feel it, like...
it's kind of like we need each other to, like, it's sort of like security.
Yeah, of
knowing
course.
that,
Too,
like,
right?
if either one of us are not available, we don't take any events. So, like, it's
Yes,
I
of
rely
course.
a lot on her and she relies a lot on me, sort of thing. So, like, I know she managed the front end perfectly fine. I don't have to question her, and she knows I manage the back end, sort of thing. Get that sorted out.
So, well, before we finish it up, because like Dan's like this to me. Looking back on the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 seasons of Lego Masters, are you happy with the way you and Danushi were portrayed on TV?
Yes.
Do you think Lego Masters needs more diversity?
Yes. I think.
I'm a big advocate for more diversity because I feel like there's a lot of white. That's the politest way to put it. You know what I'm talking about.
It is. I think diversity is good. Like, for example, I'm involved a lot with AFL because of my little one.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
loves footy.
Yeah, he
lives
does,
and breathes
yeah.
footy. So, like, I see the opportunities that's given to the, like, diversity sort of thing,
Yeah.
like, bringing everyone from different cultures and different backgrounds together. I think that we need that more on TV, especially
Yes.
for the next generations to feel like,
Yeah.
even still, my son will be like, oh, I'm only the, like,
Yeah.
I'm the only dark skin kind of like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
child in the classroom or something like that.
Yeah.
It kind of like, but they don't see it in a bad way sort of thing.
No.
But
Yes.
we have to make it normalized. So like, I think a lot of portrait in TV
Yeah.
will go a long way
Yep.
Yes.
in that regards. I think we have to accept that no one, like, not everyone sounds or look the same.
Yes.
Like, especially here in Australia.
Well, Australia is
Yes.
built on multiculturalism, right?
Yeah,
Like we're
exactly.
built on
We're all.
100 different flavors. We're not
Yeah.
just one flavor, right? And this is
Exactly.
what I think Lego Masters needs to learn, because every time our new season comes on, we're Henry, we're all friends. Like Henry's like, wow, it looks a bit white this season. Like it's always the same, and we're like,
Yeah.
yep, because
we
it's
want
like
the
never
kids-
like
Yeah.
changing, right?
We
Yeah.
want kids like your son to watch TV and say, "Hey, that person
Looks like me."
Like me." you
Yeah.
know?
I think, there's room.
That's why I
For
think it's great
improvement
with the
in that
Christmas
regard.
special that aired. Michael and Brooke, who won, because Brooke's Aboriginal. I think it's
Yeah.
great that she got to represent the Aboriginal community, because like we need more.
More.
And I think it's hard. I think sometimes it's easy to blame outside reasons than being like, oh, the pandemic or blah. But there's builders of every shape, size, color. It
Yes.
doesn't matter. Like, and that's why I hope with the next season, season 5,
Yeah.
we know what's going to happen without revealing to everybody, because this will air sometime at the start of 2023. That, like, we're hoping that there's more variety,
Yeah.
because I think we need it, especially in the Lego community.
Yes.
I think with Lego being as big as they are, I
Yeah.
think they got to put their foot forward and make it a bit more diverse.
Yeah. 100%.
Because like, we're grateful for meeting you. If it wasn't for Lego Masters, like,
Yeah.
you would still be a customer because you don't live far from the store.
But
Yeah,
we
I
would
know.
never have been able to taste the food.
We would never discovered
Yeah,
your
I know,
food. You know what I
right?
mean? Like, and all these amazing things have happened
Yeah.
because
like,
of Lego Masters.
Yeah,
Like
the
we talk about it
friendships.
all the time. Like, we're incredibly close with season 1 because, and it upsets the other seasons, but they don't understand. We did the meet and greets; they were massive, and we all benefited from that.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we have that special connection. And now most of us are friends, and that's how it is. Interstate, it's a bit hard because we're in a state, but all the Melbourne guys, Maddie, Jimmy, Miller, we're all still hanging out and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
We're always coming to get food off you.
I know,
Keep forcing
right?
free stuff onto me. I'm like, no. Like,
Let me pay.
so I was like, let me pay, dude. I'm taking like 6 servings. Like,
I
chill
know.
out. Like,
Gayan's up until all hours of the night.
Nah. I appreciate, like, you guys have been supporters of, like, food truck forever. Like,
dude, I love it.
since
You know,
like,
even when you're on the
yeah.
other side of town, I'm like, where are you?
Yeah.
And me and Caroline are driving on the other side of
know.
town.
We love our
know.
food.
And Caroline's
don't
like,
we?
where are we going? I'm like, we need to go here because Gayan's serving food and I'm hungry. Like,
Ruby will be in the back.
Ruby's in the back waiting for hers, but that's the way it is. All right, well, thank you so much, Gayan. We appreciate
you.
your time. I know it's been like a crazy couple of months, but we're looking forward to the new season of Lego Masters. Hopefully this time, Gayan and Danushi won't get COVID, so they could be at a meet and greet.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, man. We'll link
Thank you.
down the food truck, Gayan's Instagram, Danushi's Instagram, all that stuff. But thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thanks to Rick and Caroline for having me, man. Yeah.
Well,
it's
how
been
can I
fun.
say no to the Sri Lankan god?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Thanks.
you.